Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Behind the Brand, where we have conversations with the top sales associates at Illustrated Properties, which also means that they're the top sales associates in all of northern Palm Beach County and Martin counties. And we find out what makes them tick, what makes them unique. And they all have different stories. And our guest today certainly has a unique story. Her name is Lynn. She is a perennial top producer at Illustrated Properties, operates in a price point that is what most sales associates from Miami to California dream about operating in, and she operates with a very high-end group of buyers and sellers, and we love that she is here today, and we love that she represents us every day. Welcome, Lynn.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here.
Yeah, well, as you know, because we're close personally, I love hearing about your background. I'm fascinated with where you came from and all that. Talk about your journey and what led up to you selling real estate here in South Florida.
Well, I had a strong career with Sears Roebuck and Company for 25 years in Chicago. And during that time, I handled a lot of relocations from when New York City offices moved to downtown Chicago, and executives that were looking for the right places, and we tried to work with them on their career moves. So I ultimately worked my way up in the company, and I felt customer service was truly important. When I transitioned that to today, I think you should always be there for that customer. And when I decided to go into real estate, it was with a company by the name of Fight Chevelle in Palm Beach in 2009. And I decided that I wanted to work in the field in an area where people were of a higher level purchases, and quality. Quality was really important at Sears, and I wanted to bring quality to the customer in Palm Beach Island. So that's how I got into the real estate market after I retired after 25 years.
Well, Sears was one of the great American standards in our business history, and there's it's well documented, and I'm sure there's so many lessons that it was a retail background, and that's obviously different than what we do.
Right.
But the same emphasis on quality and taking care of the customer is something that we see, everybody on our team sees in your business as you help clients on Palm Beach Island and the rest of Palm Beach County as well.
Yes, you take that quality factor and you transition it to wherever you are going through your life. I had a little story that I'd share with you, and I was in the children's department at one time of Sears, and that's when mothers bought tough skin jeans. I'm going to age myself here.
Yeah.
So being in that environment, we knew if we put a quality product out there, that quality product, and jeans were the case at this time, the child would outgrow it before the product was worn out. And if the product wore out ahead of time, the mother would bring the jeans back and she'd get a brand new pair, no matter how old.
Wow.
So some of these stories sort of transition to how I run my business now. Which is the customer's always first, and also it's a relationship business, and you need to have that relationship with the customer at all times.
Well, it seems from our vantage point, you have a strong relationship with many of your clients. I mean, they're your friends, and you obviously live the lifestyle that they're living, and so you can relate to what their needs are. Do you think your buyers or sellers? Do you think that they're different? What they're looking for is different now. We have so many people here moving to the state of Florida. We have real estate pricing that is at unprecedented levels. The banking world is going crazy, and it's very hard to identify and see the future. But do you think the core what's important to your buyers and sellers is changing at all, or do you think it's about on par with what it always has been since 2009?
Well, I think that customers right now are looking for more for their dollar. I think what we're seeing in the real estate world obviously is a little bit of uncertainty for our customers, more so for them. We're still trying to figure it out, but the customers that are buying now are being more, I want to say, demanding of what they're getting for that price point, because obviously price points are up quite a bit. 40% in some of the communities that I deal with. Right. So they want what they want. They don't want to go in and redo. They want it detailed. They want it very much move-in condition in many cases, and also because right now in this day and time, a lot of our people don't have the time to do renovations and things.
Well, you're operating with a clientele that they can certainly buy anything material that they want, but they can't buy more time.
That's right.
And they can't buy you can't buy blood pressure,
yes,
so to speak. And navigating that process and making it streamlined is obviously your forte. So what the definition I think of luxury is being questioned all over our industry. I mean, what do you think the new definition of luxury is for you as you operate your business?
I think luxury to me is obviously price point, $2 million on up to $40 million on up to more, but also
used to be $1 million. Now we're now that's now
exactly.
$1 million in our area is obviously.
But luxury is a branding, and I think that when you think about branding for luxury, you think of maybe Chanel or you think of Louis Vuitton or these kind of. They have a niche, and that has to be supported by the right person when you are dealing in that kind of world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a thing that you have to have been exposed to that environment to understand what their challenges are, what their needs are, and where they're where they need to be placed, which is obviously getting everybody where they need to be, so to speak. Metaphorically and physically is really, really important in our world. There's a lot of fogginess in the business. I mentioned the banking uncertainty that we have out there, and certainly the inflationary environment that we're in, and the interest rate climate that we're in. Where do you think all this is going? It's hard to know, but what would you?
It is hard to know. I read
say?
all the reports as you do. We look at the numbers obviously very closely. I think we are going to see a settlement, I'm hoping, on the interest rates because
think we can get them to stop for a second?
I think we'll get a pause.
Yeah.
I have talked to some financial people in reference to that. What do you tell a customer? Yeah. And I think we're going to see this pause. Of course, the rate just went up again, and they're saying that might be the case. So I do think that. I think our younger buyers are for people in their 30s to 45-ish who are might start looking again. I think they have paused, waiting for mortgage rates to go down. But I also feel they're caution with their pause. They're watching just as much as we are.
Well, the majority of your customers are cash buyers, and they're not borrowing money. But they, do you feel like they're impacted by these rate hikes, or at least the uncertainty that has ensued for this aggressive number of hikes over a very short period of time?
Well, you still have the jumbo loans, and they're still out there, and we're getting some people that don't want to pull their money out of stock and also putting it in there, but there's a fair amount of people that obviously are buying cash. But our younger folks are still looking at mortgage rates, and I'm not saying they're buying under $2 million. These people are buying above $2 million.
And if they're younger, they've never seen rates at this this level before.
Right. And when I worked for Sears, I did do some real estate in Chicago on a part-time basis before having children, and I saw interest rates at that high level, 18, 21%. So you were listing all day long, but not selling. Yeah. So I thankfully didn't give up my main job.
Yeah. Well, I know that you help. That we met with one, but I know you help clients move in the relocation world, and one of our pipelines is Chicago, obviously.
Yes, yes.
And why are they coming here? What do they hope to find here that you can't find in Chicago?
Well, I think obviously the tax incentive is much better here in Florida, as we all know, as well as people are fleeing the city. Unfortunately, the crime rate
a lot
is
of violence
kind of
and-
high. Yeah. And I think they're also thinking about weather. Most people don't want to be in that snow anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
It's the quality of life that we have is second to none, and of course that is what we're selling. We're not just selling a housing product; we're selling a lifestyle and everything that goes with it.
Absolutely. Lifestyle is important to a lot of people, and that's obviously where they want to be is here in Florida. We're seeing a lot of people coming from California too, and I think that has to do a little bit with their taxing situation and their lifestyle there versus coming here. It'd be a whole lot different.
It's drastically different. So I've got one question for you it's kind of a fun question, and I'm interested to see what your answer is. But if you could have dinner with anybody in the world, whether they're deceased or they're still with us, historically or somebody that you knew, who would that be?
Queen Elizabeth.
Wow.
I think that she's a woman of poise.
Yeah.
She's was a great leader.
Yeah.
And I love the English monarchy.
Yeah.
And secondarily, I think I would say Andre Bocelli,
Okay.
because he's been
Well,
through
you've seen him in
lot.
concert.
Yes.
And I have not, and I would like to go.
But he has been through so many trials, tribulations in his lifetime, and has had to go beyond what his health, medical, and all that is. So, and to see him be such a wonderful vocalist now and bring up the children that he has and the format that he is, following his footsteps, and just be an interesting man to have dinner with.
Yeah, that persistence and grit, regardless of what life delivers to you, is got to be really important. And I know that you experienced that too. I mean, you obviously worked your way up the corporate ladder at Sears, and now a very successful high-end luxury real estate sales associate here in South Florida, and being a female, I think in particular, navigating the corporate ranks during the time that you did, you probably, I think that persistence it did serve you well as you transitioned in the real estate business. Is that right?
Yes, I would say it did. Thank you very much for the compliment. Persistence is always a good goal to have, and certainly in this market.
Yeah.
As an agent, you do need to have persistence, and you
everything
also need
changes.
to have that follow through. I think it's so important to stay in touch with your customers so that they will remember you. You need to talk and walk real estate.
Yeah. Well, you certainly do it, and you represent us so well, and we are so proud that you're on our team and blessed that you're on our team, and I really appreciate you doing this today, but I also appreciate all that you do for our company. So thank you for being here today, Lynn.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to work for you and the company.
Thank you.